The Cubs have returned home for a week-long stay here at Wrigley Field, and it is opening night for the left field and center field bleachers. A beautiful night for baseball here at Wrigley, and the fans wearing pink in the fight against breast cancer. It's the Mets and Cubs in the first of a 4-game set. Great to have you with us, Jim Deshaies and Len Casper with you. The Cubs struggling. They've dropped 7 of their last 9, and they take on a New York Mets team that's in first place in the National League East, and they're pitching really well.
Yeah, first place, 3.5-game lead over the Washington Nationals. Offensively, they're down near the bottom of the league in many categories. David Wright has only played 8 ball games, but yeah, pitch. That's all they do is pitch. And there are the matchups for the 4-game series for the Cub hitters. Jacob deGrom, last year's Rookie of the Year, goes tonight. Noah Syndergaard, one of the top pitching prospects in all of baseball, will make his debut tomorrow. The Dark Knight, Matt Harvey, goes Wednesday. And Jonathan Neese with that .95 ERA on Thursday.
John Lester, the ace, will go tonight. Good start to the month of May.
Indeed. Very good in his last 3 starts. The number's good for John Lester. He's now walking people. The strikeout total's up. He's won his last 2. Was good last time out in St. Louis. His record over the last 3, 2-0 with a 180 earned run average.
Cubs have had their suitcases out for a while, but 13 of their next 19 to finish up the month of May will be right here at Wrigley Field. Excellent matchup on the mound. Lester and deGrom as we get it going next.
Is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
Well, happy birthday, young man. And great to see the bleachers open in left and in center. And we've got the new scoreboard in right as well. Pink T-shirts being handed out tonight. Pink out. And the fight against breast cancer. And just a gorgeous night. Got a lot of rain earlier today, but the weather has turned for the better to start this 7-game homestand.
Yeah, beautiful night to play ball. Looks like the wind's blowing out, Len. Better keep your sinker down. Get the ball in on the hands a little bit. Don't let these hitters get extended.
Missed opportunity over the weekend in Milwaukee, as the Cubs have now dropped 3 consecutive series. But 15-15, they feel like they've played better than their record.
Yeah, and you know, it's just the nature of baseball. You have hot stretches and periods where you don't play particularly well. It's just frustrating on that road trip because they had leads that they let get away in St. Louis, and they lost 2 out of 3 to a an undermanned Milwaukee Brewer team, but that's the nature of baseball. And the good thing about baseball is you get right back after it the next day. Chance to get a little something going here on this homestand.
And as we pointed out, with the Mets starting pitching, runs may be hard to come by. But the Cubs feel good about the guys they have going out there, including John Lester tonight. And here he comes along with his teammates. And let's check out the Mets Southwest starting lineup. They had a season high 14 hits in their win at Philadelphia yesterday. Juan Lagares, Gold Glove center fielder, will lead it off. John Mayberry Jr. is in right for Curtis Granderson. Daniel Murphy playing third right now because David Wright is on the DL. Michael Kadire, one of the new Mets, bats cleanup. Lucas Duda hit 30 home runs last year. Wilmer Flores is at short. Kevin Plawecki grew up near Indianapolis, a Cub fan. At second base and batting eighth, Dilson Herrera, and DeGrom, the pitcher, bats ninth.
Time to check in with the Cubs defensively this evening. Chris Coughlin out in left. We'll be able to say hi to all those nice people in the bleachers tonight. Dexter Fowler's in center. Jorge Soler, the right fielder. Infield status quo, Brian Castro, Russell Rizzo. David Ross, as is the norm, does the catching when John Lester's on the mound. He's our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher for the Cubs tonight. 6 times he has gone to the hill. He's a break-even 2-2 with a 4.04 earned run average, and as we mentioned, much better lately over his last 3. And aside from Michael Kadire, nobody in this Mets lineup tonight has more than 3 at-bats against Lester. So most of these guys giving their first look at the talented left-hander.
Andy Fletcher will work the plate tonight. Crew chief is Jerry Meals. Paul Emmel at second. Jordan Baker over at third. And assuming all 4 work the entire series, they'll all get to work each base. And a nice coincidence tonight, John Lester, a cancer survivor, pitching this evening and raising awareness for breast cancer research. The day after Mother's Day, and the Cubs' first home game after Mother's Day.
They're ready to go out there. And just about ready to go in here.
Juan Lagares will lead it off. The Mets at 20-11, leading the Nationals by 3.5 in the NL East. Much of their damage, however, has come at Citi Field. 13-3 at home. They're 7-8 on the road. So here we go. Lester to Lagares, and a fastball strike at 93 to get us started.
John will max out at 95 miles an hour, sit comfortably at 92. He'll sink his fastball. Cutter is probably his best pitch. That one right there. And that's where he likes to throw it. Into the swing of the right-handed hitter. He also has a curveball and a changeup.
Lagares has been pretty cold at the plate lately. 2 for his last 23, although one of those 2 hits was a game-winning home run on Saturday at Philadelphia. And he chased one in the dirt for strike 3. Ross to Rizzo.
Good start for Lester as he polishes off Lagares. Good breaking ball down in the dirt. He'll kind of manipulate that cutter. He'll keep it on plane sometimes to try to ride it in on their hands. He'll put a little depth on it as he did there. Kind of look more sliderish.
It's John Mayberry Jr., whose dad played in the big leagues, and he takes a strike. Signed with the Mets as a free agent over the winter, making his 6th start tonight. Somewhat similar tracks for these two teams. Mets coming off 6 consecutive losing seasons. And a lot of good young pitching. Cubs' top prospects mostly, obviously, are position players. There's Addison Russell. He gets Mayberry 2 outs.
Yeah, both teams trending in the right direction, and yeah, it's kind of fun to watch because the Cubs have all these highly touted position players, and Mets got some big arms. There's Terry Collins. He's been on the job here since 2011, previously with the Angels, and initially with the Astros, his first managerial gig.
The GM is Sandy Alderson, who's been doing this for a long time. Now Daniel Murphy. He had 3 hits yesterday, with 198 in April. And a good start to the month of May, hitting .323.
Yeah, Murphy a lot better than that .232 batting average. Good line drive hitter, doesn't hit for a lot of power, doesn't walk much, but makes a lot of hard contact typically.
Lester working quickly. And it's 2-1.
Just a skosh down, perhaps. Lester taking some time because he thought he made a good pitch. Wants to give Andy Fletcher some time to think it over, but Andy Fletcher, as always, nailed it.
The wind and the 2-1. Hit on the ground to the shortstop, Starlin Castro. That's it for the Mets. They go down 1-2-3, and the Cubs are coming up against right-hander Jacob deGrom. There, the ivy growing in nicely as we check on the Cubs Southwest. Starting lineup, Dexter Fowler in the leadoff spot. Chris Bryant, a couple of days after his first career home run. Anthony Rizzo just continues to do what he does. Soler in the cleanup spot. Castro hitting fifth. Chris Coghlan has struggled a lot, especially lately. Ross and Lester make up the battery, and young Addison Russell batting ninth.
How about the Mets defensively? Keep your eyes on Juan Lagares out there in center field in this series. He'll give you at least 2 or 3 wows in a 4-game set. He's flanked by Kadire and Mayberry. Murphy at third base because David Wright is on the DL. Flores Herrera in the middle. Duda, the first baseman. The rookie Plawecki behind the plate. And Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher for the Metropolitans is 26-year-old Jacob deGrom. 3-3 with a .295 through 6 starts.
It's low on Dexter Fowler. Sinker at 94.
He can get to 97, sits comfortably around 94 with a 2-seamer and a 4-seam fastball.
Fouled off, and if Dexter Fowler gets a hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to Make-A-Wish, Illinois.
This time last year, Jacob deGrom was in AAA. A couple of days from now is the anniversary of his call-up, and boy, he took full advantage of that opportunity. claiming the NL Rookie of the Year award. He was 9-6 with a 269 in 22 starts.
Got a good mop working, doesn't he?
He's got some cabbage going, yeah.
6'4", 180. 26 years old. 2-2, and did it hit him? It did.
It's got to be a base hit to pay off the Vinnies, though, right? Even,
yeah, I would.
Yeah, it's got to be a hit.
If we were the judges, I would say I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Maybe we can get Band-Aid to sponsor. The first batter of the game gets hit by a pitch.
Here's Chris Bryant. Batting average down to 259. It's early, 22 games in, but the lowest that average has been since his 0-for-4 debut. He's striking out a lot, 23 times in his last 48 plate appearances. Okay. He does lead the team in walks with 17, working a lot of deep counts. 2-0 the count.
Hopefully he'll get some fastballs in the zone to hit here, and that's, at times he's been chasing sliders off the plate. Other times he's been a little too discerning, maybe just caught in between, can't pull the trigger on some fastballs.
It's wide of third, foul. DeGrom from DeLand, Florida, went to Stetson University in his hometown.
A Hatter, Stetson Hatters. He had a home run off Chris Sale in college, so he can handle the bat a little bit.
He's a left-handed hitter. How about that? Off the lefty Sale.
That's pretty impressive.
Do you know the last Met to win the Rookie of the Year before DeGrom last year?
Give me a hint.
He was a contemporary of yours. Bryant, deep to left, 2-run homer.
He was just waiting for some people to be out there in those bleachers. Why knock on the door when nobody's home?
A no-doubter.
I was talking with Billy Williams today about Chris Bryant, and Billy said, yeah, I'm going to have a little talk with the young man. Maybe he told him, hey, be aggressive. Jump on that fastball. And they've been pitching him hard in, but that time he was ready for it. Denied was DeGrom with that heater inside. That's your 4th home run replay. Number 2 for Chris Bryant. And nice that there were people in the dugout to greet him when he got back.
Anthony Rizzo gone. They've gone back-to-back consecutive pitches, in fact. Number 7 for Rizzo.
DeGrom would like the mulligan, but he's not going to get one. He's going to have to get it figured out here as the Cubs ambush him in the first. First Bryant, now Rizzo, wasting no time.
What a beautiful swing.
Oh, man.
A 4th home run replay. Three batters, 3 runs. The 0-1 to Soler, low and outside. This is a thing of perfection. Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, head right on it. Get that low ball in the air.
By the way, 65 degrees and a southwest wind at 17. So the wind is blowing out, but neither home run ball really needed any help.
Nothing wind blown. about either of those home runs.
Ball 4.
Well, sure. Been traumatized the way he did with Soler in there. Understandable that he'd be a little cautious. Soler willing to accept his walk. Now another meeting at the mound. This time it's the pitching coach, Dan Wortham.
So Wally Backman, the former Met, and has managed in the minor leagues in their system, he told the Mets people that Chris Bryant was the best young hitter he had ever seen. So, yeah, a lot of people with the Mets coming here kind of had that in the back of their mind, and he hits a 2-run homer in his first plate appearance.
I think you just saw Rizzo motion. I think he was talking about Bryant's swing, how he's able to be quick to that inside fastball.
Breaking ball strike on Castro. Pretty hard curve at 83 miles an hour from the ground. Another one. 0-2. Oh, so yeah, Dwight Gooden, 1984.
Oh, yeah.
Last Met Rookie of the Year. Kent just reminded me on Twitter. Yeah. Thank you, Kent. I got interrupted.
Yeah, fireworks here.
One ball and 2 strikes. Still nobody out. On the ground to the shortstop, Flores. They only get one, and that ball will stay in play. So no error. Castro takes over for Soler at first.
This Mets starting pitching has carried this team thus far. As I mentioned in the open, they have not done a whole lot offensively. They're near the bottom of the league in most offensive categories, but the pitching has been outstanding. Their starting pitching ERA of 2.99 is the best in Major League Baseball. Overall ERA of 2.86, second only to the Cardinals.
Coghlan fouls. And a rough go. 0 for 12 over his last 3 games. We'll talk with Cubs president of business operations, Crane Kenny, a little later and get all the details on the bleachers. You said it to me off the air how great it looks to see the fans out there again. Line to Murphy, and they only get one. Castro better hurry, and he's going to make it. Ball carrying pretty hard off the bricks. Duda had a long run to get it. So that'll be an error on Murphy, and more tough luck for Chris Coghlan.
Bid for a base hit, but Murphy standing right there, flips it over to first base, and Castro able to get to his feet and get himself into scoring position.
So 2 shots on goal, and Duda is 0 for 2. They will intentionally walk David Ross to pitch to John Lester.
Do you think they should pull a goalie?
Ball 3.
Question the wisdom of a first inning intentional walk, but you can understand the thinking of Terry Collins. His team, as I mentioned, doesn't score a lot of runs, so he's going to do everything he can to stop it right here. Bryant and Rizzo go back to back to get things started. The fastball that was a little above the belt and in, and he's able to get the hands pulled in, and Rizzo with that picture perfect swing elevating that low fastball.
Lester fouls upstairs. Second career start for DeGrom in this ballpark. And the other one was June 5th of last year. He gave up 4 runs in 5 innings, so he has not had a good experience inside the friendly confines to this point. Travis Wood took him deep in that ball game. Lester 0 for 50 to start his major league career. He does not look like a guy who should be 0 for 50. He does make contact, will slip like Duda, but plenty of time to DeGrom to end the inning. Lester's teammates give him an early lead. Bryant number 2. Next pitch, Rizzo number 7. Cubs lead 3-0.
In the top of the second, and finally fans here in the left field stands, the center field stands, already bringing some energy as we see both Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo go long in the first inning. Chris Coughlin, we spoke to him before the game, and he actually said, you know, it's been awkward with nobody out there tonight. He said he'd play it up a bit, just threw a ball out into the stands here, but certainly I think everyone, fans and players included, very excited to have this entire part of the ballpark back in action, guys.
Kelly, you should see if you can track down who caught that Chris Bryant home run.
I think they already took him back there because he gave it back to them, so I will do that for you guys.
Thanks, Kelly. Michael Kadire, I'm sure has been heckled a little bit already out there in left. First year with the Mets. Batting cleanup. All 3 of his home runs have given the Mets a lead. He signed a 2-year free agent contract over the winter. He liked the Mets' direction. He's been friends with David Wright going back to their youth in Virginia. And he wanted to get back east after playing for the Twins and the Rockies.
Yeah, good solid ball player. Won a batting title with the Rockies
2 years ago. Just 49 games last year. He was on the DL 3 times. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Pretty small sample, just 4 batters in, but John Lester looks very sharp here tonight. Working the edges, keeping the ball down, good action on the breaking stuff.
Lucas Duda fouls away. And some birthday wishes tonight I want to pass along early. Mason Hudson from Huntley, Illinois. Don't have his age, but he's a youngster, young Cub fan. And Miss Ethel Ahrens turned 103 on Saturday.
No way. Happy birthday, Ethel.
One and one to Duda. That's on the outside corner. What's going on in the bullpen? Got the propane heaters just in case.
It's a pleasant night. I don't think they really need them tonight.
Tomorrow may be a different story. Duda hit 30 homers last year. Got off to a pretty strong start. Hit 325 in April, but it's been a struggle to start the month of May. Swing and a miss. 5 batters in. Lester has fanned 3 of them. The other 2 outs, ground ball outs.
So far, no contact or weak contact off of Lester.
Shortstop Wilmer Flores, 23 years old. His 132nd big league game and a strike. Mets got off to a great start. They won 13 of 16. That included an 11-game winning streak and a 10-0 homestand. They are banged up, as you mentioned. They've got 10 guys on the disabled list. And their closer to start the season is on the suspended list, Henry Mejia. So he's going to miss half the year. And if they make the postseason, he will be ineligible.
Well, the Familia kid that has stepped in has been outstanding for them. 13 out of 13. So Mejia, even though his suspension will expire, he will not be eligible for
the new rules. Are you have a PED suspension, you are not allowed to participate in the playoffs that season. I think that's correct. I think that's fair.
That's a trade Terry Collins would take right now. Problem he'd be willing to deal with.
Back.
Terry managed the Astros for 3 years, finished second all 3 years, finished second twice while managing Anaheim. And then his last year with the Angels, 1999, they finished 4th. So, a lot of years where he was knocking on the door. Then he went a long time before getting a managerial position again.
He walked him. First base runner of the night. I think it's fair to say there was some pressure on the manager, the general manager, coming into this season. And so far, so good.
Yeah, kind of stolen some of the headlines in New York, although the Yankees are also a first-place team. Unexpectedly so.
Kevin Plawecki came up from AAA when Travis d'Arnaud went on the DL. d'Arnaud has a fractured right hand. Milwaukee Midwestern from Carmel, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis, and grew up a huge Cubs fan. I think he's got a lot of family and friends at the ball game tonight. Went to Purdue and was the Big Ten Player of the Year in 2012. That's the other connection. You have two big market organizations, the Mets and the Cubs. Not a ton of like superstar names. You know? Cubs have John Lester, 6-year free agent deal in the offseason. Anthony Rizzo, Starlin Castro, but a lot of kids.
Yeah, stars in the making.
Popped up on the right side, and it'll be Rizzo to make the catch. Bleachers open tonight. Gorgeous evening here at Wrigley, and the Cubs have the early lead.
Tonight's game using the hashtag Cubs Talk, and make sure to follow us on Twitter at CSN Cubs.
Hey, we know that guy.
Hey, he caught the home run.
Tom
and he's turned them into multiple. He's performing miracles out there. It's like Santa Claus roaming around giving away baseballs.
Addison Russell takes a strike. Carmel, sorry. I said Carmel. Carmel, Indiana. You stop tweeting me now. Appreciate the help.
They have really good corn there. Have you tried it?
No, I haven't, but I trust. 12-game hitting streak snapped yesterday as Russell went 0 for 3.
Try to stay off that slider, that strike the ball slider off the outside edge. Chase that high one every now and then too. This kid has such good aptitude. He's going to figure it out.
Got a nice Elias note. You ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. 2-2 first. Fouled off. Elias reporting 16 starts. Rizzo, Russell, Bryant, Castro all together. That's the most starts by 4 infielders together, 25 or younger, since the 1986 Seattle Mariners.
You're going to ask me to guess their names, aren't you?
Yeah, we're in the trivia mode with Dwight Gooden. So, yeah.
Was Omar Vizquel there?
Nope.
No, he wouldn't have been there yet. 86 Mariners.
They didn't have a good record that year. 3-2 fouled away to the right.
Mike Kingery.
Nope.
He was an outfielder. Too early for Edgar. Seattle in 86.
I know, this is tough.
Man, and I was in the league. Well, I was in the other league in 86, but I think of Seattle, I just keep coming back to A-Rod and Griffey and Buhner and that whole gang, but that was all a little bit later on. And of course, among that group, only A-Rod was an infielder. How about some initials?
AD.
Adrian Dantley.
Popped him up. It'll be Lagares in right center.
Oh, I've got it. Abner Doubleday.
Alvin Davis.
Alvin Davis. First base.
Second base, a colleague of ours.
Mike Flowers?
No.
By colleague, you mean somebody in the biz?
Yep. He has a highly coveted job. Inside on Dexter Fowler.
Oh, Harold Reynolds.
Harold Reynolds. Spike Owen.
Spike Owen.
And a guy who has been a hitting coach. You're not going to get any
I'm
of them.
failing miserably at this. I was a teammate of Spike Owens in a college summer league once.
Jim Presley.
Jim Presley.
Davis,
Jim
Reynolds,
Hound Dog
Owen, Presley.
Yeah, that's PhD level. Was Dave Valley the catcher? Scott Bradley? I just want to get something. I want to claim some knowledge of the 86 Mariners.
Scott Bradley was on the team, yes. Danny Tartable, 23-year-old right fielder that year. Phil Bradley, we see Phil a lot.
Yeah.
Players Association. He was 27 that year as Fowler walks.
Fowler doing his thing on base twice on 2 trips to the plate.
Bryant for the second time. Look at his slugging. I think it was like 379 or something before that home run. Fowler takes off. Bryant swings and fouls to the net.
Interesting. Straight hit and run play, or Fowler was running and Bryant just happened to be swinging.
Not going, and a swing and a miss. Connor tweeted, said, awkward how far away, how far apart we are in the booth. It's actually kind of an illusion. See,
yeah,
so it's
just a camera angle.
Yeah, and our
we have to save room for our guest.
Yeah. It's the first time we've ever high-fived.
It's really kind of physically impossible to be far apart in this booth, right?
Yes, it is.
You got to go out in the hallway to change your mind.
Look at DeGrom, 46 pitches. He's only recorded 4 outs. Fowler runs again. The pitch is outside. Plawecki's throw in time to get him.
As that play developed, I thought Fowler was going to beat it. You don't see any argument from Dexter, so apparently they got him. Pretty quick release by Plawecki, the Mets' young catcher.
Joe's going to take a look. I think they got him. No challenge. Time 2-2 on Bryant. Swing and a miss to end the inning. That is his first strikeout tonight. Cubs lead this one 3-0 after 2. So bleachers look great. All the fans out there wearing the pink T-shirts tonight in the fight against breast cancer, and looks like a full house out there.
Yeah, we got a nice crowd tonight, and the weather really helped us out after that front move through. So they're enjoying themselves as they should.
So the fans who are not in the bleachers but are watching us, what can they expect if they come out here later this week or later this month?
Well, it's great to have at least 2/3 of our bleachers open. So. Room for 3,500 in left field and center, and some new amenities they'll see when they're there. The first part is the fact there's more room to move around, and we got rid of some of the choke points that happened really in center field where the concession lines would interfere with the pedestrian concourse, and by having the new spaces behind there allow everybody to get around. That's the first part.
Stilson Herrera, 1 ball, 1 strike.
The second part is we're able to bring some new amenities in terms of better concessions, fresher food. We've got 20 new points of sale. So in addition to getting through the concession lines quicker, there's going to be a better food product once you get there. And then the last part, we've got some new spaces, group spaces in both the left field, what we call the well, and then under the new video board there, one of our porches is open. So you'll see some great spots to view the game.
Yeah, the left field well. Great idea. So they've got like some stools out there, right? You can stand if you want.
Yeah, what you're looking at there is we have some of our breast cancer survivors there, as well as our players' wives today enjoying it.
Strikeout number 4.
And so those spaces, Len, there's room for 15. The middle space is a little bigger, more like 25. And you have a view right over the wall. It's all group space, so it's more meant to mingle and walk around and visit with everybody in your group rather than just the person on your right or left, which is one of the things we learned when we opened the Bud Patio a couple years ago.
One away. Here's DeGrom, the pitcher, and he looks at a strike.
So that well, Crane, that'd be like one group would buy the well for.
Yeah, it's divisible into 3 spaces. So if there were three groups, you could all each have your own spot.
So Castro to make the play 2 outs.
Or you could take the whole thing, and then the upper patio is up to 100 people can fit under the scoreboard. And what's neat about that space is you've got both shade and a sun deck on one end, and your own concession service. So it's really something that our fans told us after we opened the patio. Yeah.
And the board in right. I mean, right now, look at how great that is. You can see both lineups and where we are in the lineup, which you see at a lot of other ballparks.
Yeah. We've learned a lot by being last with our video boards, by seeing what everyone else does. Some of it we like, and some of it doesn't fit for Wrigley, and we're not going to do. But knowing the lineup, especially in the first game of a series with the Mets coming into town for the first time, and they've got some new faces, they've got some injuries, and David Wright's not there. So for our fans to see who's on the visiting squad and where they bat and what their averages are, and be able to kind of refer to it throughout the game really helps.
And selfishly, I like it too, because sometimes after double switches, I'm confused as to who's where, and if I can look at a board like that, and you know who's coming up. I don't keep the neatest book.
2 strikes on Juan Lagares, and that one bounced. So roughly, when do you anticipate the right field seats being done?
Yeah, so June 11th we'll open right, a month from today, and then we're going to celebrate the bleachers being fully back online in July 3rd. So they're still a work in progress. Left field, still a little bit of work going on underneath. Everything works in terms of concessions and restrooms, and obviously the seating. And the same thing will be true in right field. June 11th they'll be open. We'll be still doing a little work behind the scenes, but we thought we'd have a sort of a grand celebration for the bleachers coming online in their fullest sense on July 3rd. So those are the next 2 milestones.
And feedback on the big board has been positive.
It's been really positive.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you would have told me, given all the there's a lot of hand wringing over it over the last decade as we've talked about it, that it would be so positively received, and I think add an element to the game. I mean, already we've relived Chris Bryant's home run, and you know, those things weren't possible before. And you know, breast cancer awareness, you've seen all the promotion we've done for that because of the technology. Obviously, we couldn't do that before today either.
Well, hammered deep to left, but it's going to go foul.
And I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't mention on our Breast Cancer Awareness Day, all the gear that our players are wearing is going to be available through Cubs Authentics. And all of the proceeds are going to go to provide for mammograms for either underfunded or underinsured women in the country. So if anyone has an interest in supporting that cause, you can get some of the gear our folks are wearing.
Yeah, and the Cubs wore pink batting practice jerseys today. Look really sharp.
Yeah.
Ball 4 as Lagares is aboard. That's the second walk issued by Lester, and it'll bring up John Mayberry Jr. And it's good to have some home games here. 13 of the next 19 will be here at Wrigley.
Yeah, it felt like a long trip, probably for you all as well. And obviously the results we wish were a little better, and that maybe made it a longer trip than we'd all hoped for.
If you just joined us, Bryant and Rizzo went back to back in the bottom of the first inning off DeGrom. Ball setting up off the outside corner. And that's driven deep to left. Coughlin leaps and he makes the catch on the warning track right in front of the fans out in left field. Nice way to end the inning, Crane. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Crane.
Appreciate it, guys.
Crane Kenny, Cubs president of business ops. 3-0 for the home team. This season at Wrigley Field, the Cubs play 3 more with the Mets, followed by 3 with the Pirates this weekend, and tickets are still available for every game. Get your seats at Cubs.com. Rizzo, Soler, and Castro against last year's Rookie of the Year, Jacob deGrom. And ball 1 inside. Kampka sent out a tweet earlier. Cubs have hit 4 first-inning home runs at home this season. They had 4 all of last year. They didn't hit a home run in the first inning at home until August 19th of last year. Duda unassisted. 1 out. Outside on Soler. Walked in the first. Cut and a miss.
It's a very young battery that the Mets are working with these days. Got deGrom out there. First full year in the league. Milwaukee, the rookie, behind the plate. Not sure about that one. Soler didn't like it.
Got a question from Martin about the bullpens. Will they be under the bleachers as we look at this last pitch? Just touched it. Lower part of the zone. Popped in to shallow right. Herrera is going to be called off by Mayberry as the wind really grabbed hold of that one. Yeah, the bullpens will end up under the bleachers eventually. Probably not next year, but the year after. As part of the bigger renovations. That will happen at some point. So you won't see a left fielder trip over the bullpen mound going after a ball.
Yeah, or
in foul territory.
Trip over the propane heater.
Hitters count here for Castro. Flores will get him. And the Cubs go down 1, 2, 3. Off to the 4th. It's 3-0 Cubs.
Welcome back. I am now joined by Tina Conrad, a 2-year survivor of breast cancer, and that's why you see all the pink shirts out here. It's Pink Out Night at Wrigley Field. I'd like for you just to tell us your story and why it's so important, and you like to be part of events that, of course, raise awareness for breast cancer.
It's been an amazing journey the last 2 years, obviously fighting through cancer. And this is one of the joys, one of the celebrations. And really to have the support that I had not only at my hospital, but, my husband and all my family and friends, this means it on a bigger stage. It's awesome.
It's so tremendous. I know you were just telling me your in-laws and your family are at home watching. I'm sure they're truly enjoying this. And you get to sing the 7th inning stretch tonight. So tell us, how are you preparing for that, warming up? Are you excited?
I'm singing with my 2 fellow sisters, the Theta Theta girls. That's what we call ourselves, and we're part of the support group together.
Well, Tina, enjoy it. Thank you so much for being here and, of course, being part of this Pink Out Night.
Thank you.
Guys?
Kelly, great stuff. Thank you. And we look forward to the 7th inning stretch a little later as Murphy just grounded out 3-1. Now Kadire struck out swinging to lead off the 2nd. Look from behind home plate. A strike called. Two hits in this game. Those were the home runs. Bryant and Rizzo. That's it.
Nice to get off to a good start after a tough road trip. Putting that 3 spot on the board, and then John Lester taking care of his end of it so far tonight as well.
Milwaukee continuing to play good ball. They're hosting the White Sox tonight. They have roughed up Jeff Samardzija. 7-2 Milwaukee in the 5th. Willie Peralta pitching for the Brewers. Hector Gomez is homered. So they're getting contributions all of a sudden from everybody.
Martin Maldonado and Elian Herrera that did the big damage for the Brewers yesterday against the Cubs.
It's the 3rd walk issued by Lester.
And Lester just glaring in at Andy Fletcher. He's made a lot of quality pitches down tonight that have not been called strikes. That one was down below the knees.
Joe not real happy. And we should tell you, as we've gotten to know the Cubs' new manager, there's the perception, and the perception is true, that Joe is happy-go-lucky, pretty liberal guy in terms of letting his players have fun after the games. All that stuff is true. He's got an old school edge.
Yeah.
He's been ejected twice already. Yeah, he's not afraid to tell people what he thinks.
No, and he wants guys to play the game hard. He'll get into an umpire's face. Yeah, don't take the dance parties in the clubhouse after wins and the hockey jersey road trips and all the stuff that he does. Don't take that as meaning that he's not a hard-nosed baseball guy, because he very much is.
Strike 1. 1-1 to Duda.
Duda coming off an outstanding year. Gives you a good solid at bat. He's dangerous. He has power. He'll take his walks. He's been really good against left-handed pitching this year. Last year he was not at all. He was below 200.
So he hit 30 last year. The major league leader, Nelson Cruz, hit 40. You know how many guys hit at least 30 homers last year in all of baseball?
Not a lot.
11.
Yeah.
Anthony Rizzo hit 32. And that's the Mets' first hit. Sharp single by Duda. And they have 2 on with only 1 out here in the 4th. Flores walked his first time. Inside, ball 1. Lester faced the Mets one other time, and it was a long time ago. He was a 22-year-old rookie back in 2006. That'll go right to the bag at second. And they're only going to get 1 as Russell and Castro came together. But you notice Lester got out of the way. Let that ball roll through. 2 down.
Yeah, he thought about trying to make a play on it. Then he realized, well, it's not hit that sharply. The guys behind me ought to be able to get it. Probably thought it would have been a double play. I thought it was going to be 2. Russell, you know, he waited. He's thinking maybe Castro is going to cut in front of him, and that's just lack of experience at the position. If Addison had to do it all over again, he just would aggressively come after this ground ball, cut it off before it got to the bag, and go ahead and take that double play unassisted.
So 1st and 3rd, and it brings up Plawecki. Ball 1. That is a strike, 1-1. Bounced into center for a base hit, and the Mets are on the board as Kadire is in. Well, they make Lester pay for that walk.
Yeah, walk and the inability to get the double play on the ground ball up the middle that looked like a double play ball leads to a run here for the Mets. Mets club 239 batting average, 12th in the league. They're 10th in the league in runs scored. They don't hit many home runs. They don't run much. I mean, they've been successful when they have. They're 11 out of 12 in stolen bases. They don't have anybody in their club with more than 2.
Herrera inside.
Now this cat here, he's interesting. He was hitting 370 down at AAA before he was called up. He's only 21. He hit 340 at AA last year. He's got some skills.
He got him from the Pirates 2013. Signed with Pittsburgh out of Columbia in 2010. Wind is howling straight out tonight. And the 2-0 from Lester bounced into the Cubs dugout. Everybody scattering.
Call an ugly finder.
Cloud cover, and they're moving fast with the wind. That one hit well to center. Fowler, however, will make the grab, and the inning will come to an end. And for the first time this season, you can flip it to a fan in the bleachers. Mets get on the board, 3-1 Cubs.
Its first pitch is at 3:05, and the first 20,000 fans in the ballpark will receive a reusable tote bag presented by the MLB Network. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
As DeGrom finishes his warm-up tosses, as we look down on the farm, what a start to the season for outfielder Billy McKinney in High A Myrtle Beach. 2 more hits, 3 RBIs today. So he leads the whole system and the Carolina League. 25 RBIs, batting .340. Don't forget about him. Came over with Addison Russell from Oakland. He's only 20.
He can rake.
Oh, and 1 on Coughlin. He lined to third in the first inning. Another liner. This time he's rewarded as he snaps an 0 for 13.
Two-seam fastball running away. Coughlin punches it into shallow left center field for a leadoff knock. Battle of a couple of former rookies of the year.
Ross with a bunt. DeGrom quickly off the mound to field. Not a great throw, but oh, he's safe. Duda came off the bag, according to Jerry Meals at first.
Well, let's see if Terry Collins opts to challenge this one, if they see it differently down in the Met dugout or video review room.
I think he got out. Well, Terry Collins still has not made an indication. He's going to challenge. Interesting play by Ross. You've got John Lester coming up. So you've got first and second, nobody out. Joe Madden is already in the on-deck circle talking with his pitcher about what he wants him to do. And I assume it'll be runner at second with 1 out when it's all said and done here.
Yeah, and David Ross bunting for a hit there, and I think he's thinking, well, the last thing I want to do is ground into a double play and then have Lester up there with 2 outs, nobody on. So if I don't get my base hit, at least I move a guy over. Even if Lester makes an out, we're going to have a chance to drive in that run with Russell.
It's interesting. Terry Collins kind of put both hands to his ears, kind of like put on the headset. Yeah. I thought that was a very clear indication that he was challenging, but only now after actually having to go out and chat.
Oh, really? Because he also said, I want to challenge. Yeah.
I got what you were doing, TC.
Yeah, these guys must not play charades over the holidays when they're together with their family.
Yep. That review did not take long. So we'll see if Ross will be given a sacrifice. The fans didn't like it. The replay they saw, they didn't see the foot on the bag, but our first replay seemed to clearly indicate the spike on the bag.
Yeah, I think he dragged the toe across the top of the bag, and we had that other look that was maybe even a little better. This one here. Yeah. See, look, he's got the ball, and I think he's dragging the toe across the top of the bag. It's not a slam dunk, however.
And this is not really a bunting spot here with a man already in scoring position and 1 out. He does get a sacrifice out of it. Healthy hack by Lester.
We say it every game he pitches that swing is better than a lifetime 0 for whatever he is. What's the number? How many ABs has he had?
He's now 0 for 51 in his major league career. All right, so you think Ross was just on his own bunting for a hit?
I think it was a bunting for a hit, and if I don't get a hit, I at least get Coughlin into scoring position. Was my thinking, and it may have been with some conversation with Matt, but I think he's thinking, I don't want to bounce into a double play here and have Lester up, finish off the inning. So let's get a bunt down, and he tried to show bunt the other day too. I think it's in his repertoire. Gets it down the third baseline. He's got himself a knock, and I think it's one of those. Well, worst case scenario, if I get it down, I at least move that man into scoring position.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, so it'll be up to Russell now with 2 outs.
The straight sacrifice in that situation I don't like at all. Trying for a base hit. I don't mind that play. I know some people wouldn't like it, but we tend to make these generalizations about baseball. You shouldn't sacrifice in this situation. You shouldn't do this in this situation.
Right field, it's going to drop down. Here comes Coughlin.
It's looking pretty smart now, isn't it?
It does. Ross knew that Lester was going to strike out, so he figured, I got to get him to second.
Yeah.
And then Russell is going to knock him in.
I'll be the pitcher getting him over guy in this sequence. I'll be the guy whose job it is to get him over. And he's getting fist bumps from the boys in the dugout. And Russell drives one home. He's 1 out of 2 with an RBI now. But anyway, we make these generalizations about strategy in baseball, but sometimes you got to crawl inside the head of the player. On a given night, maybe a hitter's just not seeing the ball well off an opposing pitcher. Said, man, I got nothing. I feel overmatched with this guy. I'm not picking the ball up. So I'm going to put a bunt down, try to get myself a base hit that way, or at least move a man along.
So the Cubs get that run right back. Good lead by Russell. And 1-1. Two and 1 the count. And a flare base hit to left for Fowler. Russell stops at second.
Three reaches and 3 trips for Fowler. Boosting that on base percentage. Which was good to begin with. 341 coming into play tonight.
Dan Warthen coming back out. It looks like Lester's fine in the dugout, but he kind of reacted awkwardly to one of his swings in his at bat. Seemed to kind of grimace there a little bit.
Right wrist, maybe.
Did we not have that earlier this year where he looked a little uncomfortable, maybe with that right hand? If it's the right hand, you don't worry too much about it. There's Bryant. 2 on, 2 down. So back.
Brown being very careful, and here's the reason why. Here's our Xfinity high-speed action. Bryant gets him. Rizzo gets him. In this confrontation with Bryant, he's being very, very careful. Got a call on a borderline pitch for strike one, but he's staying off that outside corner. That time with the changeup.
Two and two. And Vogelbach is homered for Tennessee tonight. Or Vogelbaum, as they call it.
Vogelbaum. Every time I think of Vogelbaum, Vogelbach, I think of Oglethorpe from Slapshot.
Was it Ogie Oglethorpe?
Oglethorpe. Vogelbach. I will crush you.
Hansel Robles, right-hander up in the Mets pen.
They got a guy out there named Goodell too, so they got Hansel and Goodell. It's pretty close.
They call him the commish.
It's a fairy tale out there in the Mets bullpen. Well, 97. Boy, that ball really jumps out of his hand. Just does not want to give in to Bryant here, but he's got Anthony Rizzo on deck. This lineup will make you work.
Three-two, two outs, runners go, and bounce foul back at the plate. He walked in to load him up for Rizzo. So 3 on for Rizzo. Hit a 2-run homer, or rather a solo homer after Bryant went deep in the first inning. Grounded to first in the third. Trying to break it wide open here, already leading by 3 in the fourth.
Yeah, and you know, if you're DeGrom in this situation, you're hoping a hitter will get himself out, chasing pitches out of the zone. Boy, and that's asking a lot, because Rizzo has proven to be so disciplined. Yeah, sure, every now and then he'll go out of the zone, but very, very disciplined. Didn't chase the first pitch changeup, didn't chase that fastball off the corner.
Our AT&T U-verse multi-view. Russell at third, Fowler at second, and Bryant at first. Strike 2.
Nice pitch. Feather changeup. Good movement. This one work its way back to the plate. Circle change, turns it over. Survival mode now for Rizzo.
Ground ball right back to DeGrom, and that will end the inning. But they do get a run on Russell's 2-out RBI single. And it's the Cubs 4 and the Mets 1 after 4. Debut, and the enhanced bleachers have a new look and feel with additional amenities and more group spaces. Tickets are on sale now. Visit Cubs.com/bleachers to buy tickets and learn more about the new spaces and concessions as they become available over the next few months. Cubs 4, Mets 1, and DeGrom looks at strike one. Career 190 hitter. 0 for 1 tonight.
He's worked awfully hard on the mound, and had he not retired Rizzo, his night might be over. But Terry Collins allowing him to take this at bat, stay in the ball game.
On the ground, cut off by Bryant in front of Castro. High throw. And DeGrom is aboard. DeGrom given an infield hit.
Yeah, you know, third basemen are taught anytime they can get a ball like that to go ahead and get after. But when you have to retreat like that, the better option might be to let the shortstop play it. You see, Bryant's not coming directly across. He's taking a step or two back. And even with an accurate throw, I don't think he gets DeGrom, who's a good athlete, and was going hard down the line. But I think an easier play for Castro.
One 1-0 on Lagares.
Wow. Yeah. Lester he is in disbelief with the strike zone here tonight. And anytime we've looked at him on the replay, Andy Fletcher's been vindicated. But we have seen him open up that outside corner at times tonight. But Not so much for Lester, it seems.
Sharply hit on the ground. They get one, but not two. But Castro and Russell both had a little trouble getting the ball out of their glove.
Yeah, the feed from Castro to Russell, not really a clean one. It took Russell a little time to make that relay. Lagares runs well. He has to reach to the backhand side for that ball and have to turn all the way around to make the throw, and Lagares able to take advantage of that. So it's been a little sloppy play in the middle of the diamond here. Last couple innings.
Mayberry. Strike one.
Mayberry's been a very good pinch hitter in his career.
.6'6", 235. Runner goes. Ross's throw. Late. Russell able to knock that ball down. It was actually sitting right behind the bag, and Lagares nearly took off. By the way, they've got those propane heaters down in the bullpen. It has cooled off. Yeah. They were onto it. Chad Noble, the bullpen catcher. James Russell knows his way around Wrigley Field. Back for his second stint. 2-2. Mayberry from Kansas City, went to Stanford. His dad played for the Astros, the Royals, the Blue Jays, and finished with the Yankees.
Stature reminds you a little bit of Darryl Strawberry, but Mayberry and Strawberry aren't related, even though they're both berries. Same number though, right? Straw wore 44 from the left side. Masters had to throw extra pitches the last couple of innings because of plays not made behind him. So Madden's still trying to sort things out with his bullpen. He's really struggled over the last 10 days and change. I'd love to get 7 innings out of Lester here tonight, as he did last time. That's 2 times, as a matter of fact, for John Lester. Last time out in St. Louis, 7 innings, a 4-run baseball, only one of which was earned. Previous start here against Milwaukee, 7 shutout innings.
Murphy on deck. Runner at second, 1 away. And a 3-2 to Mayberry. Swing and a miss. A strike 3.
He slow hooked him.
Strikeout number 5.
Slow curveball, never gets there. Mayberry way out in front.
So to update the Cubs quality start stat, when they get one, the team is 12-2. When they don't, 3-13. So that starter getting at least 6 in the books, pretty important, especially with the bullpen that has struggled. On the outside edge. John talking to himself. I don't know if he wanted that one or not. He's just upset with himself.
The front coming in. Weather's going to really cool off. Nice play by David Ross. Pirates starting to pick it up. They lead the Phillies 4-2 after 8 in Philadelphia.
Just won a series against the Cardinals. Pirates 1 under 500, 15 and 16. Bryant may have a chance. No, thought the wind may grab a hold of it, push it back toward the field.
Yeah, he's got pretty good reach too. Garrett Cole was really good for Pittsburgh tonight. He's been good all year. 7 innings, a 2-run ball. Marte hit a 3-run homer.
Line to Russell to end the inning. Cubs leading this one 4-1. Off here at the ballpark as the Cubs lead 4-1, batting here in the 5th inning against Jacob deGrom, who's had to work hard tonight. This will be pitch number 87. And 2 balls, no strikes. I think he and Bartolo Colon should swap uniforms for a day.
For what purpose? Just the body types?
Yeah.
He's wearing his kind of baggy. I bet you Bartolo could get in there. Big guy's got 6 wins already.
It's the only Mets starter we will not see in this series, at least active starter. A couple of guys on the DL, Zach Wheeler and Dylan G. Let's see, DeGrom, 6'4", 180. Bartolo, 5'11", 285.
It's a beautiful thing about baseball.
Yep.
All shapes and sizes. Got Jose Altuve over there tearing it up in the American League at about 5'2".
The third strikeout for DeGrom. You may recall last year on September 15th against Miami, he tied a modern major league record, striking out the first 8 batters of the game. The 9th hitter, the pitcher Jarrett Cozart, singled. That record was held by Jim DeShays.
It's a DE thing.
Now, why didn't you go with the small D like DeGrom?
I don't know.
How fun would that have been?
Yeah.
Over near the Mets dugout. Duda just couldn't get over there in
stayed
time.
in play, didn't it?
So you did it against the Dodgers on September 23rd, 1986. And the 9th batter was a pinch hitter.
A fellow by the name of Larry C. popped up to second base. Yeah, so I claim that as a tiebreaker over DeGrom. Since my 9th guy popped up and his 9th guy got a knock and was a pitcher.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
He went on to win the Rookie of the Year. I guess he wins. How do you get to Wrigley Field? The Cubs suggest the use of public transportation. If you're a bike rider, use the Cubs courtesy bike check located near Clark and Addison. If you drive, the Cubs provide free parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games from 3900 North Rockwell. For details, visit Cubs.com.
Strike called on Coghlan. Yeah, the Bartolo Colon story pretty amazing. Driven foul to left. 6-1 through 7 starts. He has, let's see, 40 strikeouts and 1 walk. He's got his 42nd birthday coming up later this month. As DeGrom strikes out Coghlan, and in fact strikes out the side, just as we talked about that record he tied of yours. 4-1 Cubs after 5. pivotal Game 5. Flip over to CSN for instant locker room reaction and more on Kia Bulls post-game live after every playoff game on the CSN. Tough loss yesterday. LeBron with the buzzer beater from the corner. Series tied at 2 apiece. Lester looking for his 3rd consecutive win to start the month of May. 1-0 over Milwaukee on May 1st. 6-5 at St. Louis on May 6th. 4 winless starts in April. Dyer breaks his bat as he grounds out to Castro and nearly tripped as he really lunged toward first base.
Dyer with a bid for an infield hit. He already has 9 infield hits this year. I really think of him as that type of hitter. Starling took a little bit of a circuitous route towards that one, but ultimately got Dyer for out number 1. Lester set the tone early, retired the first 5 batters he faced, did not allow a hit through 3.
You had a nice chat with him the other day.
He's from Puyallup, Washington, outside of Tacoma. Yeah, it was good to sit down. He's a hard guy to track down because, you poke your head in the clubhouse and, he's usually out working somewhere.
Yep.
In the weight room or running or throwing.
Yeah, he's all business at the ballpark, no doubt. Duda out in the deep center, and it's going to carry on out of here. A home run for Lucas Duda, and it's 4-2. That's his 3rd.
We talked about him earlier, the power, the discipline, and the improved approach against left-handed pitching, at least early this year compared to last year. Far better against southpaws. The Ford home run replay. Boy, the DeGrom getting Rizzo with the bases loaded 10-4. That was huge. Mets hang in there, and now they're 1 closer with that swing of the bat. That's your Ford home run replay. With what we've seen tonight, what we saw in Milwaukee, a lot of balls flying out of the ballpark here in recent days. Was there 13 of them in that series in Milwaukee?
Sounds about right, yeah. So Lester has allowed home runs in consecutive starts, 3 overall on the season. Peralta got him in his last outing in St. Louis. And the 2-0 to Flores. Strike 1. That is hit deep to left, and it will go. Mets go back to back. They're within a run now.
Fourth of the year for Flores, and that too is a theme. Back to back. The Brewers did it yesterday in the 7th. The Cubs did it today in the 1st, and now the Mets turned the trick with 1 out in the 6th. Duda, yeah. Flores, you don't think of him as a power hitter, but he got into this one pretty good.
That is his team leading 4th home run.
Yeah. See, with John Lester, the arm angle is key. Sometimes he gets underneath the ball a little bit. That arm slot just gets down just a little bit, and that fastball will flatten out. Kind of loses angle as it gets into the hitting zone.
Deep center Fowler going back, and he'll get Plawecki on a deep drive as Justin Grimm quickly grabs a baseball in the Cubs bullpen. So Bryant and Rizzo in the first. Duda and Flores here in the sixth.
Yeah.
Oh, Lester really upset. Like he screamed right at Andy Fletcher. That looked like a good pitch, right at the knees.
Yeah. It's definitely on the plate and appeared to be high enough. Fletcher, to his credit, not reacting.
Curveball strike. Anthony Recker is on deck to hit for DeGrom. If we get there. And Lester continuing to bark at Andy Fletcher. Now Rizzo will head over to the mound. David Ross having a combo.
It's really interesting for Fletcher to he's talking with David Ross now to take the heat that he's taken from Lester here tonight, especially here in this inning. You know, a hitter can get away with it because he's in such close proximity to the umpire. Usually if a pitcher becomes pretty animated with a home plate umpire, they're very quick to respond. I give Fletcher credit. I mean, he was talking to David Ross as an intermediary. Yeah, Lester's like, I don't know where to throw it. I don't know where the zone is.
That could have been a strike as well.
I thought that might have been the best pitch of the bunch.
So Ross dropped it, didn't get the call, and Lester looks like he's at wit's end right now.
Yeah, he's waiting for somebody to come out and maybe join in the fight. somebody rally around me here.
So that's
David
three
Ross,
strikes, I think.
Yeah, David Ross out there just to try to calm him down. There, it's okay. Yeah, you're making a lot of quality pitches. You know, here's what Fletcher's telling me. He didn't think they were there. They're borderline pitches, and I know you thought they were strikes. But let's turn the page and get after this next hitter. And that's always the challenge, right? In athletics, your temper starts to flare. You get mad. You get upset. You got to find a way to step back, to take a deep breath.
Ruben Tejada and not Anthony Recker to pinch hit. Like the Cubs, the Mets have three catchers on their active roster, by the way. Johnny Monell, a left-handed hitter, and Recker, the former Cub, backing up Plawecki tonight. Strike one. Oh, 0-2. in the dirt, and now Herrera on a wild pitch will get second. Mets haven't taken huge leads tonight. Lagares stole second in the fifth, but they didn't have a Matt Carpenter lead.
Right, yeah. They haven't really tried to put a whole lot of pressure on John in that regard. But they put a lot of pressure on him here in these last couple of innings. He's really grinding to try to get through this sixth and maintain his lead.
Tying run now at second. Called strike three to finally get out of this sixth. Back-to-back homers, though, have pulled the Mets now within one. It's 4-3 Cubs.
We are back. Things have tightened up. 4-3 ball game. Cubs lead. The Cubs baseball summer camps presented by ATI Physical Therapy are back. Give your kids an unforgettable baseball experience this summer. First camp kicks off in Lake Forest on June 22nd. Sign up at Cubs.com/camps.
Hansel Robles is on.
Limited use so far here at the big league level. Been a starter throughout his minor league career until last season. He's got good stuff. Mid-90s heater, a slider, and a changeup.
One-on-one on Ross. Wellington Castillo is on deck to hit for Lester. Good swing and a miss. Frustrating finish to his outing. Still shaking his head. The 1-2 from Robles is swing and a miss, strike three.
Sixth strikeout of the night for Mets pitching, fourth in a row.
Just got to that quality start requirement. John Lester, 6 innings, 3 runs on 5 hits. 4 walks, 2 homers. He struck out 6. And another tight ball game for this bullpen. to close out over the final 3 innings. It looks like Justin Grimm will be the man to start it in the 7th. Line shot, and that ball knuckling, but Lagares able to pick it off his shoe tops for out number 2. He can really go get him.
Yeah, Gold Glove winner last year, plays a very shallow center field. It's not a highlight reel play by any means, but took some concentration to finish off that play. As Len mentioned, this ball had some funky action on it.
Russell hoping to start another hit streak with his 1 for 2 tonight. Knocked in a run in the 4th with a single. Zach Rosscup has joined Grimm in the Cubs pen. Doubt we would see Pedro Strop in this one. He worked 2 innings in Milwaukee yesterday. Robles with an 0-2. It's just outside. Lester Strode, Cubs bullpen coach. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Robles goes 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. We head to the 7th. It's the Cubs 4 and the Mets 3. Dear friend Patty Borges, who was the longest tenured supervisor of the ushers and security workers here at Wrigley Field. She passed away last week. The Cubs had a moment of silence before the game, and all the ushers tonight, and probably the whole homestand and maybe the rest of the year, they're going to wear this pin in her honor. Patty Borges was just a wonderful person, and was thinking about her family and friends this week. As Justin Grimm takes over here in the 7th. Cubs lead 4-3.
Yesterday he came in behind Kyle Hendricks, issued a walk, but then got a double play ball off the bat of Gene Segura. Cubs were able to maintain that lead through 6. Slipped away with back-to-back home runs by the Brewers in the 7th.
0-1 to Lagares.
Well, here we go again. Bullpen trying to hang on. And a tough go for the pen last couple of weeks.
Fell onto the warning track. One and one the count.
So we assume Strop not available, so Grimm, Roscup, and Rondon to try to finish it out here. Some combination.
We noted Roscup is in the bullpen and he's ready. And if for nothing else, it makes Terry Collins think about, okay, do I want to use Curtis Granderson, Kirk Neuenhuis, left-handed hitters off the bench? And if he does, he knows that Joe Madden has a counter move available. On the right field line, and Soler is over there, and he will not have a play. 32,980. The paid crowd tonight. And the bleachers are open for the first time here in 2015. Left and center.
Pink and blue out there. It's reminiscent of Michigan Avenue and all the flowers.
Yeah.
Justin Grimm rejoining the club on the road trip, coming at an opportune time. There's some tired arms out there, some guys that have been scuffling, so Grimm brings a fresh arm into the mix. A power arm, a guy who can rush that fastball up there in the mid to upper 90s. Competes well against both right and left-handed hitters. I'm thinking that even with, Roscup up, if Strop is not available, if Terry Collins does go to a left-handed batter, 2 off the bench, Grimm probably stays in the game.
Good battle here as Lagares is trying to give everybody in the upper deck from home plate to the right field foul pole a souvenir. I believe that's 5 consecutive foul balls. This will be pitch number 9 of the sequence.
He's respecting the breaking ball of Grimm, so he's trying to stay back and just able to fight off the fastball. Grimm just not yet able to finish him off. Usually when a guy's in protect mode, he's vulnerable to hard in, especially when you got a fastball as lively as Grimm. Some little action out on the hands might get the job done. Maybe try to bounce a breaking ball. You got him in swing mode. Worked him up in the zone with a heater.
The 10th pitch.
Ooh, tried to paint that outside corner. Good try. Good eye.
Yeah, you mentioned swing mode. Most guys in this spot would have hacked at it, but Lagares took it.
Joe looking for confirmation that the pitch was outside.
Sets up a 3-2.
It's always the go-to place for the umpire because, you know, manager from the dugout, they can't see in and out. They can see up and down. So it's, if Fletcher were to have pitched pointed down saying no, that ball was down, Madden might have exploded on him.
Swing and a miss. Did Grimm quicken his delivery a little bit there? Looked a little different on that final pitch. I don't know if he had the normal leg kick he usually has. We'll see. But he wins the battle. Yeah.
Yeah, a little short stride.
I'm seeing a lot of Cub relievers do that.
A big part of Strope's arsenal. Strope will do it as he's coming set on the way down. He'll just keep on going.
Justin deciding I need to try something else. So Mayberry will stay in and take the at bat. Righty against righty and breaking ball. Strike one. Up to the shortstop, Castro. 2 down.
Justin Grimm, a fifth round pick, of the Texas Rangers in 2010. Had been primarily a starting pitcher throughout his time in the Rangers organization. Last year for the Cubs, made 73 appearances. Won 5, lost 2, had a .378 earned run average.
Ball one on Murphy. 2 ground outs in a line out against the starter Lester. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here it is. Well, the Mets have a 3.5 game lead over the Nationals, but Washington's starting to play some really good baseball, looking for their 5th straight win, and they've got an early 10-0 lead at Arizona. 4 in the first, 6 more in the second, and they're still batting. Bounce to Russell, and it is time to sing the stretch.
Tonight's guest conductors for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Please welcome Advocate Healthcare breast cancer survivors.
All right, Cub fans, let's hear ya. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, for it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball.
Tribune writer David Haw team up to deliver the latest on your favorite teams. It's Chicago's only sports talk morning show on TV. The Cap and Haw Show every morning at 9 a.m. Comcast Sportsnet.
Dexter Fowler turns on one. The action in the Mets bullpen. Sean Gilmartin, Buddy Carlisle. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
This appears to be one of those guys who can get riding action on a fastball down in the zone. When it's down, it's got maybe a little run or a little sink, and up in the zone has that hop, but gets a lot of backspin on a four-seam fastball down.
Up in the air behind second base, and Lagares calls it in.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea for the Cubs to score again. Got three in the first, one more in the fourth. They had DeGrom on the ropes with the bases loaded. He made a big pitch to get Anthony Rizzo to ground out to end the fourth. Cubs have not had a base runner since then.
Nobody throwing in the Cubs bullpen, but Phil Koch is stretching behind the mound. Mets will have Kadire, Duda, and Flores due up. Righty, lefty, righty in the eighth. Bryant waves at strike one. Wild game in Milwaukee. The White Sox came back to tie that game 7-7. But the Brewers have responded and now lead 10-7 in the bottom of the eighth.
You think Max Scherzer can make that 10-run lead stand up out in the desert against the D-backs?
Yes.
His old club? Pretty good chance, huh?
I'm going to say yes.
Let's go to the win probability chart.
He went 1, 2, 3 on 7 pitches, all strikes in the first.
If it was a boxing match, Chip Hale might throw in the towel. It's not in his nature.
Three and one. Ball 4.
He's a 3 true outcomes guy tonight. Home run, strikeout, walk for Bryant. It's a real challenge for the Mets, I'm sure, for the coaching staff with this a young catcher, Plawecki, taking over for the injured Darno, and so many young pitchers on that staff. It's a lot to ask. Collins wants a lefty.
Sean Gilmartin. And it's a Weber's Sauces and Seasonings. Call to the pen. Why grill with anything else? Bottom 7, 1 out, 1 on, 4-3 Cubs. It's interesting. Managers continue to make this move, bringing in a lefty to face Anthony Rizzo, who is 11 for 23, 478 average, 586 on base, 652 slugging. Those numbers are all higher than against righties.
Yeah, I mean, it's the percentage play until it's not the percentage play, right? Until you go, wait a minute.
He doesn't have a home run.
Yeah, and that's a lot of times it's.
But he's slugging higher.
Suppressed power. Keep him in the ballpark. And a lot of times, too, it's just not the fact that it's a lefty, but the nature of the lefty stuff. Maybe Gilmartin's a guy he thinks he can get a ground ball double play or that breaking pitch.
Well, it's not just the 23 at-bats and 29 plate appearances this year. It goes back to last season, as we've documented a lot.
Has pitched 10 times previously for the Mets, and he has gotten a lot of outs on the ground. Not a hard thrower. Fastball is upper 80s.
Rule 5 pick from the Twins. 2-2.
Whatever that breaking ball is, it's got good action. He was a first-round pick of the Braves in 2011 out of Florida State.
Popped into center, and Lagares will get it. So 2 outs. So he does his job, and Terry Collins is going to go right back to the bullpen. He wants veteran Buddy Carlisle to face Soler when we return. Who made his major league debut back in 1999.
It's been a story of perseverance for Carlisle, hasn't it? A lot of different towns along the way, many different organizations. And back with the Mets for his second season, split time last year between AAA and the big club. Pitched effectively for New York last year.
Ball 1 on Soler. Bryant at first, 2 outs, 7th inning. Cubs leading 4-3, and we're going to see Justin Grimm, it looks like, come out and start the 8th. And I don't think Pedro's stroke will work tonight after going 2 yesterday. Buddy's real name is Earl. Call him Buddy. He's from Nebraska. To Texarkana College. Two 2-0.
Kind of a weird choice with Soler, the hitter, because he throws a lot of fastballs, even though he's not a hard thrower. And Soler punishes heaters. That one was well placed, however.
He doesn't throw portable propane heaters, though, like the ones in the bullpen.
No, he does not. Didn't have to be.
Pitcher strikes, 2-2. We were scoffing at them earlier when it was 65. You were in short sleeves. Bryant runs and Soler fouls.
So if there's a foul ball hit down into the bullpen, is everybody responsible for picking up their own heater? Clearing way for the outfielder to make a play? Could get a little dangerous, right, with all those heaters laying around.
Look out. Might only be 91, but you don't want to get hit by it up in that area. 3-2.
Yeah, there was a time when 91 was a plus fastball. Now it's kind of average.
He walked him. A couple of walks this inning. First one given up by Robles. And it'll give Castro a chance.
Speaking of heaters, this is an anniversary for Kerry Wood. In 1998 on this date, he struck out 13. That was coming on the heels of his 20 strikeout performance against the Astros. So he set a record for strikeouts in consecutive starts.
What do we have here? Oh, is he asking about Carlisle coming set?
Yeah, it's talking about set and separating them.
Carlisle doesn't really take much time when he gets to the belt. You do have to have a discernible pause. Let's see. But that time he did.
Yeah, he was okay there. He's separating him and putting him back together.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But I was watching that last pitch. I didn't see it.
Eric Goodell. Tall, lanky right-hander up in the Mets bullpen. Ricky Bonas, bullpen coach, watching.
Got some rookies out there in that bullpen, don't they?
Knocked down by Duda. Carlisle over to cover, and that'll end the inning. 2 walks, but 2 runners stranded. So we go to the 8th. It's 4-3 Cubs. Strikes, and you used to see hitters move around in the batter's box depending on the pitcher or the situation. Notice Anthony Rizzo against right-handers, or at least tonight against DeGrom, where his back foot is a little bit off that chalk line near the plate. You can't really see the chalk line, but his toe is almost touching it against the lefty Gilmartin. Is that to cover the outside part of the plate on a breaking ball?
I think it's because all the breaking balls that Gilmartin throws is my guess. He wanted to make sure he could cover that outside part of the plate on the left-handed breaking ball. Well, we'll keep an eye on that and just see if he does it consistently versus right and left. I guess not. I think it's more like what you're talking about, just trying to guess along with the pitcher, whatever pitcher's repertoire is. He's going to pitch him in, out, hard or soft.
Yeah, I'm talking to former position players. They said they moved around a fair amount in terms of up or back in the batter's box, but you don't see it quite as much now. Grimm to Kadire, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And I think this may not be accurate, but it seems like years and years ago it was more of a feel, and now it's more mechanical. Guys were willing to experiment. Ozzie Smith, I remember, I'd be in my windup, starting to lift my front leg, and he would start walking in the batter's box, literally moving in the batter's box. It would just freak me out. I said, what does he know? How does he know what I'm going to do? Why is he walking?
1-2, bounces.
All these old stories, I don't know if they're apocryphal or not. There was one, Willie Mays, they said he used to just take an awful swing at a first fastball, just be late and make a terrible, just to set the pitcher up, because he knew he was going to get another fastball either later in that at bat or in his next at bat. Hard to think that a hitter would do that on purpose, right? When you only got 3 pitches, 3 strikes to play with in that bat, but I don't know, maybe. Maybe that's what Joey Votto's doing. We've noticed a lot over the years of Votto taking some ugly swings. Maybe he's just setting people up.
My guess is he would like to know that other people even think that he's doing that. Grimm's 3-2, and we'll do it again. Line drive, base hit, right center for Kadire. It's kind of swing and will win you a batting title, as he did, as you mentioned, 2 years ago at the Rockies.
Yeah, it's kind of pitch that'll get you in trouble too. That was a hanger on 3-2. A tumbler. Leadoff single for Kadire. Roskup will come in for Duda.
Normally, again, this would be Strope's inning, no matter lefty or righty at the plate. Trying to cover it tonight after he went 2 yesterday. Weber called to the pen. We'll be back.
Minute guided tours that include a chance to step on the field. This must-see Chicago attraction houses over 100 years of history. For more information, visit Cubs.com/tours.
Zach Roskup gave up those home runs in Milwaukee yesterday, but right back out there with a 1-run lead, man on, nobody out, and a strike called on Duda.
Great example of having to turn the page. Tough day yesterday. Big opportunity here today, though. In his career, albeit a short one so far for Roskup, he has faced 60 left-handed batters and allowed just 1 home run. They bat 140 against him. We noted earlier that Duda's been very good against left-handed pitching this year. Far less likely to do damage against a left-hander.
Dyer, the runner at first, and a 2-1 from Roskup is hit foul. 2-2. It's from Clackamas, Oregon, 26 years old. Roskup 6'2", 220. It's Wilmer Flores on deck.
Now, Roskup got a lot bigger this winter. Winter weights put on some muscle in the upper body.
To Chemeketa Community College, Salem, Oregon. Duda homered off a lefty in the 6th, the starter Lester.
Kind of pokes a hole in my less likely to do damage against a left-hander theory.
Line caught by Rizzo, double play. Boy, that's huge.
A bit of good fortune there. A pretty good sized bit of good fortune for Roscup. Oh, smoked by Duda. It turns into a double play. Hang with him.
Flores, 2 outs, nobody on, and a strike called on the outside. High in the air. Who wants it? Fowler. Roscup gets that double play ball on the liner. It was hit hard, but Rizzo made the play, and it's still 4-3 Cubs. Here at Wrigley Field this Sunday, May 17th, at the conclusion of the game, the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger with wristbands will be allowed on the field to run the bases, weather permitting. For more information on this program, go to Cubs.com/Sundays. .6'3", 190-pound right-hander Eric Goodell will work here in the bottom of the 8th, his 17th major league appearance. He has not been charged with a run this year through 7 1/3 innings, covering 10 appearances.
Another rookie out of that Met bullpen. And ball got loose.
That was no pitch. Time was called by the third base umpire, Jordan Baker.
Goodell had a cup of coffee with the Mets last year, and he's done good work so far this season.
No, this Goodell did not suspend Tom Brady. Base hit right field. Coughlin's on.
Nor did he pinch hit for Bill Veeck.
A bit of Eddie, yeah.
Ross tried to get a button down earlier. It wouldn't be a bad play here. If he's not really buying it down there at third base, if he's not a little tighter. There's nothing sacrificial about that swing. He's trying to murder that baseball. Goodell, a 24th round draft pick out of UCLA. An outstanding prep career in California. Missed his senior year due to injury, however.
Down by Plawecki. And for those asking, no, he is not related to Eddie Goodell. Different spelling. Eddie's last name was Gaedel. Eric is Goeddel. Eddie Goodell is from Chicago.
Eric Goodell is from California.
In his major league debut last year. And he's 2-2 now on Ross. Del Montero on deck. For Ross Cup. Runner goes, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Coughlin's in at second. With his third steal.
Chance for a little insurance here. Picked a good pitch. It was a off-speed pitch, split finger pitch, I believe. Fluttered up there.
It will not be Montero, instead Matt Caesar. High for ball 1. Hector Rondon, the closer. Mets will have Plawecki, Herrera, and a pinch hitter in the 9th. Ground ball to short. Flores gloves, a double pump, and he's still got him.
Don't want to take too much time with Caesar going down the line. Get a clean grip initially. No, I don't know what it was. Anyway, we move on. Big chance here for Russell.
As much as we'd like to, JD, we can't explain everything.
No.
We try.
Almost like he had the yips there. He just couldn't turn it loose.
Two strikes to Russell. Noah Syndergaard will make his major league debut tomorrow night. He'll face Jake Arrieta, Matt Harvey, and Jason Hamill on Wednesday. Jonathan Neese, Travis Wood, lefty day on Thursday to finish the series. Flores again at short to end the inning. So let's go to the ninth. Cubs lead this one 4-3. Hector Rondon, the closer, is on.
Hector working for the 14th time, 6 out of 7 in save tries, 1-0 with a 3.46 ERA. Worked twice on the road trip, picked up a save in St. Louis, and then came into a 7-3 ball game in Milwaukee the other night and allowed 3 runs. The Cubs escaped with a 7-6 win.
32 pitches in that outing. So Chicago native Curtis Granderson off the bench for Milwaukee.
Not hitting for a high average, but note that 352 on base percentage.
Yeah, you got to throw him strikes. He'll take a walk. A couple of homers in his last 4 games. 2 balls and a strike. They overshift to the right on the infield against him. Slightly around the left in the outfield. 2-2. Matt Caesar, after pinch hitting, is still in the ball game. He's in left. And here comes Rondon. Couldn't get him to bite on the slider. One thing his manager talked about is he got fastball happy in that outing in Milwaukee. Seen a couple of sliders in this at bat, and the 3-2 is low on a fastball. Lead-off walk to Granderson.
Granderson, a great guy to have coming off the bench because he is patient, will take a walk. Also has very good power, so you have to try to pitch away from his power. Rondon just couldn't make the pitch there on 3-2.
Herrera squares and takes a strike as Bryant was charging from third. If we get to the bottom of the ninth, Carlos Torres is heating up. Bryant still in at third, and it's outside, 1-1. At one point, JD mentioned this, the Cubs were leading 4-1. They had an opportunity to really break it open. Rizzo batting with the bases loaded in the fourth. But DeGrom got him on a ground out. And the Cubs have not scored since. The Mets able to close the gap with back-to-back homers in the sixth. And that's where we stand, 4-3 now in the ninth. Diving catch, Starlin Castro. He just robbed Herrera of a base hit. One down.
That could be a game saver. Wow, what a play. How about a game changer? That good enough for you? T-Mobile game changer. Watch this play by Starlin Castro. Oh, absolutely blistered. Boy, the Mets have hit into some tough luck here the last couple of innings. Dare I say full extension? Nobody ever says 3/4 extension. What a play! 3/4 extension.
So a couple of really hard hit balls for outs. The double play ball, Duda lined to first in the eighth off Roscoe. And now Herrera lining to a diving Castro. Interesting thing is, and you wouldn't do it on purpose in that spot. If the ball had trickled out of his glove, they might have been able to turn two.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I noticed on the replay, Herrera was running hard out of the box, though, so it would not have been a guaranteed double play. Johnny Monell, left-handed hitting catcher. Check on Granderson. He can run. Former Cub Tom Goodwin, the first base coach. Tim Tuffle is over at third. One and one. Monell debuted with the Giants 2 years ago. He's only got 11 career plate appearances. How about two? Little drop by Russell. They will turn it. Ball game over. Cubs win. Cubs win. Boy, all the hard hit balls by the Mets in the last two innings turned into outs.
Yeah, there was a handful of hang with them's there for the Mets in the last couple of innings, but the Cubs hang tough, hang on, and pick up a much needed win. And Monell hit it sharply. That's what allowed Russell and Castro to complete the double play, despite the little bobble by Russell. Granderson not able to get a piece of Castro.